In a world full of mysteries, few enigmas are as fascinating as Atlantis. A lost civilization, shrouded in legends, promising secrets hidden beneath the waves. But what do we really know about this mythical land? Stories of technological advancements, a prosperous society, and ultimately, a sudden disappearance. How could such an advanced culture vanish into the depths of time? Just imagine, entire cities, majestic temples, and knowledge that could have altered the course of humanity. What if Atlantis were more than just a fable? What if the remnants of this civilization were closer than we think? Over the centuries, explorers, scientists, and dreamers have searched for clues, venturing into the waters of the unknown. But are we ready to uncover these secrets? What do the depths of the ocean conceal? Get ready to dive into a sea of theories, stories, and discoveries that go beyond imagination. The echoes of Atlantis still resonate in the pages of history, and the truth might be even more surprising than fiction. What would you do if you found the key to these mysteries? The legend of Atlantis is fascinating and traces back to Plato's dialogues, written around 360 BCE. In the texts Timaeus and Critias, the Greek philosopher presents the story of a great civilization that existed beyond the Pillars of Hercules, known today as the Strait of Gibraltar. Plato describes Atlantis as an advanced society with a rich culture and impressive technologies. He uses it as an example to discuss themes such as morality and governance. But is the story just a fable, or does it have roots in real events? The narrative of Atlantis might have been influenced by various cultures and myths that existed during Plato's time. Some theories suggest that the story could have been inspired by the civilizations that inhabited the islands of the Aegean Sea, especially the Minoans, who thrived in Crete. The idea of a civilization that flourishes and then disappears resonates with many cultures throughout history, raising the question: to what extent does Plato's legend reflect historical truths, or is it merely a philosophical construct? Moreover, Plato might have used the story of Atlantis as a didactic tool to teach lessons about morality and the fate of societies that grow arrogant. What happens when a civilization strays from its fundamental values? This central question can be seen as a warning about the consequences of hubris, or human arrogance. Thus, the origin of the legend goes beyond mere storytelling, intertwining with philosophy and social critique. The allure of Atlantis also lies in its ambiguity. By blending history and myth, Plato invites readers to reflect on the nature of truth and reality. This openness has allowed for interpretations over the centuries. The legend has thus become fertile ground for those seeking to understand the past and its lessons for the present. Finally, the origin of the legend of Atlantis compels us to question what is real and what is fiction. Plato's narrative continues to spark debates and research, demonstrating that even in modern times, the fascination with lost civilizations and their stories never fades. Since Plato first mentioned Atlantis, many theories have emerged about its location. Some researchers believe the civilization might have existed in the Mediterranean Sea, particularly around the island of Santorini. This island, known for its devastating volcanic eruption, could, according to some, have been the inspiration for the story of Atlantis. The idea is that the eruption destroyed a thriving civilization that once inhabited the area, leading to a sudden loss of knowledge and culture. Another popular theory suggests that Atlantis could be located in Antarctica. This proposal is intriguing, as it raises questions about how a civilization could have thrived in a region now covered in ice. Some argue that during periods of global warming, parts of Antarctica might have been habitable. This hypothesis, however, faces significant challenges, particularly in terms of archaeological evidence. Additionally, locations such as the island of Crete and the coasts of the Black Sea have also been proposed as possible cradles of the legendary civilization. The search for Atlantis has become a real puzzle, attracting explorers, archaeologists, and even scientists attempting to unravel the mystery behind this lost civilization. The diversity of theories reflects the enduring appeal of the legend and humanity's desire to connect with the past. The search for Atlantis is not merely a geographical question, but also involves cultural aspects. What could a civilization like Atlantis teach us about our own paths? Each new theory brings to light elements of human history and its lessons. Thus, the location of Atlantis transforms into a symbol of our own search for identity and meaning. Ultimately, the theories about the location of Atlantis show that this legend is far more than just an ancient tale. The story continues to inspire people worldwide, leading to new explorations and research. The mystery surrounding Atlantis sparks curiosity and invites us to imagine what might have been. The search for Atlantis is not just about myths and legends. Some believe that behind Plato's story, there are traces that could confirm the existence of this advanced civilization. Over the years, numerous archaeological expeditions have been undertaken with the goal of finding any sign that could be linked to the famous lost city. However, the results have been varied and often inconclusive. Researchers analyze different locations worldwide, from the Mediterranean Sea to the Caribbean, in search of evidence that could validate Plato's narrative. On some occasions, remnants of ancient civilizations have been found, but without direct links to what is imagined to be Atlantis. Underwater archaeology, for example, has revealed submerged cities, but the connection to Atlantis remains, so far, an unproven hypothesis. Modern science also has its limitations. Often, the most advanced technologies, such as carbon dating and DNA analysis, are unable to provide clear answers about vanished civilizations. What is known is that many places around the world harbor stories of cultures that flourished and disappeared, and science attempts to understand these dynamics without finding a direct link to Atlantis. Moreover, archaeologists face the challenge of interpreting findings in a way that avoids being influenced by biases or popular narratives. It is a delicate task that requires great caution to ensure the results are not distorted or misinterpreted. Therefore, the search for evidence of Atlantis remains an open field of study, filled with questions and possibilities. Finally, the discussion about the existence of Atlantis raises questions about how history is told and preserved. Many civilizations may have left traces that have yet to be discovered or that, for some reason, have been forgotten. The search for Atlantis, therefore, is not just a quest for a lost city but also a reflection on humanity's own history and civilizations. The legend of Atlantis has transcended time and infiltrated popular culture in many ways. From books to movies and series, the idea of an advanced civilization that disappeared quickly has captured the imagination of many. Authors and filmmakers have explored Plato's narrative, reinterpreting it and presenting it through new perspectives, always with a touch of mystery and adventure. In cinema, for example, films like Disney's Atlantis, The Lost Empire have brought the legend to a new generation, blending fiction with historical elements. The animation not only delivers an engaging narrative but also sparks curiosity about the theories surrounding the original story. The aesthetics and adventures in underwater settings captivate audiences and make many wonder about the reality of the lost city. In literature, the legend of Atlantis has been explored across various genres. Science fiction and fantasy authors often incorporate it into their stories, using the lost civilization as a symbol of forgotten knowledge and dangers to be avoided. This narrative of a society that achieved high levels of development but was tragically destroyed resonates with universal themes about the fragility of human civilization. Moreover, art has also benefited from the legend. Painters, sculptors, and contemporary artists have used Atlantis as a metaphor to express ideas about beauty, ambition, and the fall of societies. The image of a submerged city, rich in culture and technology, serves as a powerful symbol that provokes reflection on the consequences of human actions. Finally, the presence of Atlantis in popular culture shows how stories can evolve and transform, maintaining their essence while adapting to modern times. This legend continues to inspire and ignite the imagination of many, challenging generations to explore what might lie behind the myth and reflect on the true meaning of the search for lost civilizations. The legend of Atlantis is rich in symbolism that goes beyond the simple narrative of a lost civilization. For many scholars, the story of Atlantis serves as an allegory about what happens when a society strays from its ethical and moral principles. Plato, in describing the island and its people, emphasizes the greatness and wealth of Atlantis but also warns of the dangers of excessive pride or hubris. This relationship between virtue and ruin is a profound reflection on the human condition and the risks of placing ambition above morality. Furthermore, the narrative of Atlantis can be seen as a critique of imperialism and the relentless pursuit of power. The Atlantean civilization, described as powerful and influential, ultimately loses itself in its own arrogance. This message is relevant in any era, as it invites us to reflect on the consequences of human actions and how greed can lead to self-destruction. The story reminds us that even the most advanced societies can fall if they are not guided by ethical principles. Another important aspect is the idea of an ideal world that collapses. Atlantis is often interpreted as a symbol of a state of perfection that cannot be sustained. This quest for an unattainable ideal resonates with many aspects of the human experience, where we often face the reality that our aspirations can be frustrated. The legend, therefore, becomes a reflection on the fragility of societies and the inevitability of change. Plato also uses the story of Atlantis to discuss the relationship between knowledge and power. The Atlantean civilization, with its vast knowledge and technology, becomes an example of how power without wisdom can lead to catastrophic mistakes. This message is particularly relevant today, in a world where technological advances often outpace ethical reflection on their use. The story prompts us to consider how knowledge should be managed and the importance of wise and ethical leadership. Finally, the symbolism of Atlantis can also be seen as a warning about the disconnection between humanity and nature. The destruction of the island can be interpreted as a consequence of excessive exploitation and a lack of respect for the environment. Thus, Atlantis is not just a story of a lost civilization but a timeless lesson on the importance of living in harmony with the world around us, emphasizing the need for balance between progress and sustainability. As we explore the lost secrets of Atlantis, we are confronted with intriguing questions. Did this advanced civilization really exist, or is it just an echo of ancient legends? Could Plato's stories be more than fiction, or perhaps profound metaphors for what we have lost over time? Let us imagine, for a moment, what it would be like to live in a society where technology and spirituality coexist in harmony. What could we learn from the Atlanteans if they were real? And what if the remnants of this civilization are still hidden beneath the ocean waves, waiting to be discovered? And what do you think? Could Atlantis be a metaphor for the challenges we face today? Could the lessons of a distant past guide us in our present? In the upcoming videos, we will dive even deeper into other stories that challenge logic and awaken curiosity. Get ready to be amazed by what we uncover in the shadows of history. Don't miss out. Your next adventures are just beginning. What else would you like to discover about the mysteries of our world? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and perhaps we can explore them together.